Welcome back to Dolphins United, the platform for Dolphins. You heard me. We back in the house. Got some breaking news for y'all. I was at work earlier. Didn't feel like doing a from the phone video. It wasn't that important for me to do so. So I waited until I got home. So I'm giving it to you right now that Josh Boyer is up out of there. All right, they done got rid of my dog. Took him up out of there. This year wasn't that great for the defense, especially when it comes to getting turnovers. We did get some turnovers. We did get some defensive touchdowns. I'm not going to take nothing away from that. But it wasn't what it's been the previous 2 to 3 years. Like, some of that has been injuries this year. But let's be honest, right? Last year, we didn't know who was credited or who deserved to be credited for the turnaround, because we started 1-7, and the next thing you know, defense started playing some ball, starting with the Ravens. And there was reports that Brian Flores had taken over and Boyer wasn't doing much. And it was really him, and it was the cornerback coach, right? So that's what we had heard. I don't know what's true, what's not. Fast forward, we stunk this year on defense. Near last in a lot of categories. It was pretty bad, right? We were really good, though, when it comes to stopping the run, but I don't know if that was scheme, how Boyer was teaching it, or if that was just players. You know, Christian Wilkins, Sealer, those guys, they were clogging up the middle. They were doing what they needed to do. Wilkins had 98 tackles as a defensive tackle. Like, that's unheard of, right? Guys were setting the edge decently. It wasn't perfect. And the linebackers filled in where they needed to fill it now. I mean, we need a lot of linebacker work. Boyer wasn't the only guy that was let go. They let go of the outside linebacker coach. They let go of the safeties coach and another assistant. So 4 guys ended up getting the boot. There's a few guys that were retained from 2 years ago staff, because now this last season is last season. So 2 years ago staff of the flow staff. Still a few guys on defense there. Still a few guys on offense too as well. But those guys are safe for now, and I'm pretty sure they're gonna allow the defensive coordinator to bring certain guys with them, right? It's probably how it's gonna end up being. Mike McDaniel is kind of in the mold of Gase when it comes to being hands off, right? So yes, there's going to be some dialogue between the defensive coordinator and the head coach, but he's not going to be all on you. He's not that type of guy, so he's going to let them coach the defense. Well, we don't know what's really out there. You would like to have a former head coach in that position so he can fully coach the defense. But there's not that many guys out there. There just aren't. So, who would be our best chance, and who are the best guys that if they came in, they would automatically catapult the defense upwards? I got 2 on my short list. And it's because I just don't know who are out there. And I'm not a guy that's ready to say I want somebody that's coaching linebackers or DBs to be our defensive coordinator. I would like it to have been somebody who has done it before, or who was an ex-head coach that was just fired and his defense was fine, but he just couldn't coach the whole team up. So here are my guys, right? One of them is off the wall, and one of them we all know. Number 1 guy I would like, Vic Fangio. We know what Vic Fangio is about. His defenses were not the problem in Denver. His offenses were. So as a result, he got the boot, but everybody wanted him last year. He decided to take the year off, enjoy himself, make his money, because he's still getting paid. He just decided to chill, collect his check. Now he's back in the running. He's interviewed for a few jobs, I believe the Commanders and for Carolina. And they're saying where Sean Payton goes, he's going to end up going. So he's the one guy I would really love to have. I know that there were rumors and rumblings about him joining us last year. That didn't end up happening. We kept the defense status quo. Maybe we shouldn't have. I don't know. Maybe they told, which there were reports possibly that happened, that they told Mike McDaniel that we want to keep the defense the same for a year. So they did that. It didn't work. He got rid of the guys, and he's bringing in his own now. All right, so now if he gets fired, he knows that he's getting fired for what he did and not what somebody else had done and he inherited, right? So we get all that. That's what he plans on doing now, hiring his own guy. Vic Fangio, I'm sure, is near or at the top of his list. The next person, let me know how you feel about this in the comment section. I'm going to state my case. And if I said Vic Fangio was number one, he's 1A. And this next person is 1B. Now, before I put out who I think it is, or who my candidate is, let me know in the comment section who you think I'm going to say. This person is a former head coach. All right, so Vic Fangio, former head coach, coach defense. Well, this next person is a former head coach, coach defense pretty well. I'll give you one more hint. Knows the division pretty well too. I'll give you a second. Who am I thinking about? Who am I thinking about? Hopefully, some of y'all got it right. Hopefully. The person I'm thinking about is Rex Ryan. Yes, you heard it here. Rex Ryan has coached for the Bills. He's coached for the Jets. He knows this division. He knows what this division is about. He can coach the heck out of defense. There's no doubt about it. If he takes hold of the defense, being that he was a head coach prior, you don't have anything to worry about. Same thing with Vic Fangio, right? Mike McDaniel can keep his slate clear when it comes to that and just focus on the offense. He won't have to worry about the defense at all. Why would I like a guy like Rex Ryan? Because he still keeps the aggressive mindset that we've had over the last 3 or 4 years. He's an aggressive style coach. But he's also a disciplined style coach, which is what you need on defense. There needs to be some discipline. He's coached the Reeveses. He's coached some of these really good defensive players. He was with Ed Reed, Ray Lewis and them boys, T. Suggs. He was with all those guys. Haloti Nada. He coached them up. He is a really good defensive mind. Yes, he's sitting there in ESPN right now chopping it up. I don't even know if he wants to coach. But throw him some change, see if that is something that he wants to get back into doing. Maybe he has his eyes on being a head coach again. I don't know. But he can coach the heck out some defense. I'll take him. He also keeps the 3-4-4 4-3 hybrid, right? Because he is a 3-4 type of coach. And we've got guys that can fit either scheme, to be honest. So Vic Fangio, I think, is a 4-3 guy, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe a hybrid 3-4 as well. I can't remember. I'm trying to think. Khalil Mack, if he was considered a defensive end in his system or an outside linebacker. I want to say an outside linebacker. I don't know, all right? I have to do some more research on that. Maybe some of y'all can let me know what his preference is, 3-4-4-3, or is he a hybrid guy? Let me know, all right? Is he a multiples? All right, I can't remember, but I do know for sure Rex Ryan is a 3-4 type guy. Little bit of hybrid. He likes to mix it up. Of course, they run the bear as well, all right? So he's going to bring guys to the line of scrimmage, a lot of zero looks and things like that. A lot of defensive linemen in the bear, in the 46. So we know that that's his style, and he's an aggressive style, blitzing style coach, man coverage style coach as well. All right, so I would love to have him in and to build this defense up the way that we need it built up so that we can take this thing to the next level. I believe if you add Vic Fangio and you add Rex Ryan, we're Super Bowl contenders next year. We're Super Bowl contenders. I believe that wholeheartedly. We're Super Bowl contenders. Now, I don't know who they're going to end up bringing in because there's no guarantee that they even want to talk to Rex Ryan, and there's no guarantee that Vic Fangio is coming, even if they talk to him. We don't know who we're going to get. We just hope that whoever we get can get the job done. If it's not one of those two guys or any other guy, Jim Schwartz, for example, I don't know if he's a defensive coordinator right now, but if he's not, he'd be another name I would like. I wouldn't mind having any one of these guys. Of course, some people are going to say Brian Flores, right? And the reason why Brian Flores will never be here is because he sued the NFL and the Miami Dolphins. He's not coming, right? So we already know that would be number one on the list if it was possible, but it's not. So forget about Brian Flores. We just booted his guy, by the way, so that's not happening. But let's hope whoever they do bring in is a former head coach or a former DC that had experience at doing this job, because we don't want to have a guy coming in that is like Mike McDaniel, on his first job. All right, we don't want that. We don't want guys that have to come in and learn. We want guys that come in with a pedigree and that can get it going from day one. We don't need, schemes and philosophy. It takes time to learn it. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about learning on a job, like McDaniel's been doing this whole year with clock management and stuff. That's what I'm talking about. We don't need no defensive coordinator that's going to come in and try to learn on the job. These guys, these experienced guys, the guys that's done it before, they know exactly what mistakes they made in the past. They know exactly what they're doing. They're not going to be learning on the job. All right? Let's get one of those guys in, and let's move this thing, progress this thing forward. We don't know what's up with the special teams coach. They ain't said nothing about the special teams coach yet, but I could assume he's under review because the special teams, they've been a little special and not in a good way. I'll holler at y'all in the next one. Please put in the comments section some of your candidates so I can look them up and let me know if Vic Fangio is a 4-3 or a 3-4 type of coach philosophically. I'll holler at y'all in the next one. Love y'all. I'm out.